King County deputies. They say that this search has now officially been turned back over to the federal authorities. So Homeland Security, Border Patrol, you name it, they're all out here along with Chelan and Spokane County. They're taking over for the night. So just because King County went home, the search is not over. They're still going to be in this area. They say they're going to have this search going for 24 hours.
Well, we got news on Travis Decker, possible sighting that they're taking extremely serious. So welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D here. And it's an eerie story, actually, to think that there was a hiker or hikers on the trail and they basically came face to face with someone. They spotted him. They thought he looked unprepared, ill fit, a little worse for wear, and they reported it right away, thank God. Now, they sent out helicopters, and the authorities immediately started tracking the individual. As the helicopters got in view of the person took off running. That's the big clue. Why would you run just because you see a helicopter unless you're evading the helicopter? Unfortunately, the helicopter lost sight of what they believed to be Travis. So there's some interesting things we discussed yesterday in the Decker case. Why would he go north when he could go south long term? He wouldn't have to winter it out, right? He wouldn't have to stick out the really hard winters in Canada. I mean, this is nation. Like, it's not just nation, it's international news, even though we're not seeing much on YouTube of people picking up on this. This is a huge story that I'm not going to let go of. 3 little girls, his daughters, have lost their lives, and they want Travis Decker because they suspect he is the person that did this. Now, there's some things we're going to go over together today in our update, but I do want to say hello to my beautiful, absolute beautiful family here, and that's you on replay as well as those in the live. I thank you for tuning in, and again, we're going to get into a lot of stuff here. Hey, Ocean Deep, Nikki UK, that girl, Claire, good to see you. Rage Not That Rage, Maura, hello, Maura Davidson. And hello to everyone, and welcome back if you're returning. Welcome in if you're new. We're going to get right into this. So we have hiker spotting Decker. So I'm going to give you the story, right? The man accused of passing away his 3 daughters, remember YouTube censors us, is believed to be hiking alone as cops close in on him. So how much distance has Travis made? We're going to get a map out. We're going to look and see how much further south he is and where is he headed, and does he have a game plan? Was this really Decker? We're going to try and figure this all out. So a hiking group saw a lone hiker believed to be Travis Decker, 32, make it so I can read it, prompting cops to send a helicopter to search the wilderness where the Eerie sighting occurred, reported the Sun. And I know that's not a reliable source, but we have other sources that are stating the same thing. Decker has been on the loose for over a week after he allegedly passed away his 3 daughters, all under the age of 10, during a planned custody visit on May 30th. He left the girls' bodies, his dog, and his truck along, I'm going to add, his billfold, which we don't know. Did he keep his ID or is it on him? Does he need it where he's going? If he's going to Mexico, right? It's easy to get in. You can't get out, right? Makes you wonder. But also, several phones were found inside this truck. His truck. So they believe that he took off on foot. Authorities recently received a tip from the hiking party who spotted a man hiking along near the encampments, according to the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. And thank you for those that explained to me it's Chelan. The Enchantments is a popular backpacking area in the picturesque wilderness of Washington's Cascade Mountain Range. The article goes on to say the hiker appeared to be ill prepared for the trail and weather conditions and appeared to be avoiding others. CCSO said in a Facebook post on Tuesday. Tracking teams responded immediately and sent in a chopper. The helicopter crew then spotted a hiker, right, near a remote alpine lake called, and I know I'm going to be told how to pronounce it, Kolkuk Lake. Kolkuk Lake. Sorry if I say it wrong. The off-trail hiker then ran out of sight as the helicopters passed, the CCSO said. So, it really bothers me that this is how this is going to go. I mean, forgive me. Forgive me. But wouldn't you have had a team that you could drop off? I mean, it's a great vast wilderness of extreme thick coverage. So if somebody leaves a trail, what are you going to do in a hopper if, in a helicopter, if you don't have a way to deploy a ground team? I'm lost with that. What are your thoughts, you guys? And not to mention, this would mean if this is really Travis Decker running off from the helicopter, that he did not go north to Canada, but rather doubled back and is headed south. So, like I said, this is what we talked about. Travis has he has 8 years of training in the military. He was an automatic rifleman in the military. He was still in the military, and they're working on getting the paperwork done to disqualify him, if you want to call it that. We don't know what it is all, but he was missing those meetings and the required mandatory, I guess, meetings, if you want to call it that, but training. With Travis, he's also, as we've talked about, got extensive experience living 2.5 months off the grid in the past. So he knows what he's doing. But if this is Travis, it would suggest also that if he's ill prepared, then this most likely was not premeditated. So it's like I'm getting yo-yoed back to, oh my God, did he snap? Did somebody else do this? And he was like, oh my God, did he leave the girl? I mean, we have to look at all options. I just wouldn't believe it unless they had hard proof. But is it possible we've got male blood handprint on the truck with an animal blood as well? Yet the dog is okay of Travis's and turned over to the Humane Society, the local Humane Society. So could he have left the girls alone for a few minutes and some wacko done this? I would find that so hard to believe. So if he's ill prepared and running and not carrying a bunch of stuff, he's just, not prepared for the weather, ill prepared for even hiking. It sounds to me like he lost his mind. But how do you lose your mind 3 times in a row? Because there's 3 little girls no longer with us. Where are you guys with this? It's strange. I do agree. Thank you. Well, surely they would be trained ready to go on the ground. Well, the helicopter lost him. So I don't get it either. Maybe it was premeditated. He was going to unalive himself as well as the girls, and then didn't have the courage to follow through with himself and went on the run instead. Whoa, Viv, you could be right. You could be right. Ocean Deep says, sounds like it was all planned, in my opinion. Now, if this is Travis, thank you, Ocean Deep. If this is Travis, if this is Decker on the run, He didn't make it very far. Let's go ahead and look at this, what they're saying, and then we're going to look at the map. All right, so it goes on. It's just a little expert from Cairo, K-I-R-O, that's staying very up to date on this case. Law enforcement tracks person believed to Decker into the Blewett Pass. I know I'm probably saying that wrong too. All it basically said is everything I told you, but it does say Schilling County officials say search teams have picked up the trail who they believe was Travis Decker in the Blewett Pass area. While no one has been taken in, they urge the public to remain alert and report tips, as well as, I will add, you are being instructed, if you have firsthand knowledge of this man, to turn it in 911. So when we look at the map, this is blowing my mind. You've had 12 days to get somewhere, even on foot, which I did the map on foot as if I was walking. He would have only made it that far, 28 hours of walking in 11 days. This is not that far, you guys. It's not that far. So yesterday, when a lot of you are like, I believe he's still in the country or still in the area. I believe he hasn't left very far. I now see what you're saying. And I apologize if I disagreed with you. I just thought, okay, this sounds premeditated to me. And therefore he will have made a lot of foot travel, if not picked up a ride, during those first initial 4 days of a head start he had. Now that we know through the autopsy of the time of death was, they believe, to be Friday, May 30th. Aw, good vibes. Thank you, sweetheart. Love and light to all our love and family, and love you to the moon and back. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Good vibes only. That was so kind. So I'm going to call it a rumor, even though it was reported by a couple news places, that Travis rejected Whitney, the mother, in getting back together recently. So Travis was showing up and being involved with these girls, even though he was homeless. He was still putting the girls first, if you will, in his life in that sense. So this is even more shocking and disheartening that these little girls were found deceased and that it's suspected that he may have done this. But why would he have rejected getting back together with her and then ended the girls' lives? Is there something more to this story of a revenger? Is there something where, I don't know, there's just no way for us to dig into this when it comes to making sense of it, because there won't be. You can't understand someone, we won't be able to, that would harm their own children, because none of us would. We're not made of that cloth. And so we're here as individuals to keep Travis's face out there, because it's working. People are seeing what they believe to be Travis and reporting it. So we want to keep coverage on this until he is caught. I pray in Jesus' name that Travis is caught and that he can come in and answer some of this, right? Hi, Adele Lovely. Can you imagine living in that area and being told to stay in and lock your doors and be on the lookout for your neighbors and property? Scary stuff. Not only that, but to keep all your outhouses locked, to keep your supplies in check. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. Hi, hon. Thank you again for that snooper chat. If you're on the run, right, he's using his tactical training, which I believe would be to stay near a water path. such as a river and so forth, because you would know what direction you're going. You wouldn't be circling yourself. Does he have a compass to even keep him in the direction? Does he need a compass? Can he tell by the stars? I know a lot of people are like, what? Oh, no. Let me tell you, those that can navigate by the stars, that is exactly how our GPS systems work in locating someone, is triangulation. They do that through satellites, right? But in the old days, ships navigated by the stars. So he doesn't necessarily need a compass, or he can tell by the sun what directions he's going in. However, he's heading south, the opposite of what these searches suggested. Now, Travis's father-in-law spoke out. And in this report, Travis's father gave a statement to Cairo, again, Kiro. And in that statement, he alleged that after this all, he got out of the army. Travis got out of the military. I don't know if it's army. We'll say military. He, according to the father-in-law's words that were shared by Cairo, Travis quit wanting to adult, started binging on drinking and not taking care of himself, not showing up for where he's supposed to, completely not adulting. And that led to the divorce, and it went downhill from there. So that's a father-in-law's view. Doesn't incorporate any understanding of PTSD. However, this man just lost his only grandchildren. So I can't blame him for throwing it out there. And I'll go ahead and we'll give that a listen to. I did play it yesterday, but this is important to listen to what the frame of mind was at that time. Let's see here. What makes it play? Oh, you'll have to go watch our other video. Sorry, guys. I just grabbed a screenshot of the video I shared yesterday. So even though Travis has literally done searches of how do you get a job in Canada? How do you relocate to Canada? How do you move to Canada, right? It didn't matter because he didn't go that direction. Just like I suggested and others, that it's possible he's headed south. Now, at the path that he's going and at the rate of travel, he ain't going to get there. He's going to get caught. If that's Travis. Remember, he had a 4-day head start. Could that just be somebody that's freaking out because a helicopter's chasing them? They're like, why is this helicopter chasing me? I'm going to hide. I'm just out here on nature walking. It not be Travis? I'm not sure. I pray it is Travis, but it's just so strange to me that he didn't make it any further. All right, let's do this real quick. Law enforcement officers from across the country, again, this is Cairo, are continuing the extensive manhunt for Travis Decker, the suspect wanted in connection with the passing of Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia, all under the age of 10, his own daughters, whose bodies were found on June 2nd, 2025. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office, CCSO, said in an update Tuesday that Decker may be in the Blewett Pass Highway 97 area. And I don't know if you say Blewett, but I just feel like Travis blew it, and so I decided to say it that way. The public, particularly those who live in or own cabins nearby, are being asked to stay vigilant, report suspicious activity, lock your doors and vehicles, and check your trail cameras. The search gained new momentum after a hiker group reported seeing a lone hiker in the encampments who appeared to be unprepared for the terrain and weather and seemed to be avoiding contact with others. A helicopter search team later spotted someone matching that description near the Kolchak Lake. The individual ran upon seeing the aircraft. Tracking teams deployed to the area eventually followed a trail to the Ingalls Creek trailhead on Highway 97. Canine units were used to continue tracking efforts. Over 100 officers broke up the search into manageable grids to look for Decker. By 5 p.m., all crews with the King County Sheriff's Office had left the search. However, that doesn't mean that there weren't others searching, because the backup team did come in and continue the search. And so they're doing this in 24-hour shifts. And so when they say this team left, it doesn't mean they left the area abandoned. No, they're tired. They're switching out. They go get recharged, replenished. They're thanking all those that are feeding them, the troops, and they are seriously going to find this man. I pray they are. Seriously pray. Although Decker was not found, deputies said they would continue the search in the Ingalls area with help of Spokane County. Authorities are now asking anyone who hiked in the encampments in the past week to report any unusual sightings. And that doesn't just mean people. That means if you are hiking in that area and you see where it looked like somebody was set up for camp in some way, right? Abandoned in an area that's not a campground. That would be something I would turn in, because he might return back to that area if that was his area. The U.S. Marshal Service is taking command of the manhunt and is offering a reward of $20,000. I can't believe it's that low. We have, and this is the only time I'm going to bring it up, we got over $1 million in a GoFundMe, and yet we only have a $20,000 reward. Seriously. He is considered armed now, according to Cairo, and dangerous. So he's went from they don't know if he's armed to now he's considered armed. So what information did they find out? Because he's considered now armed and dangerous. Before they were, all the media was saying, we don't know if he's armed. So what has changed? Heaven reigns. Oh my golly, lovely. 42 months you've been with us. Thank you for your loyalty, your support. I appreciate you. And I've missed you. Welcome back. Heaven Reigns always shows a lot of emojis of color and support for everything we work on. Truly.
Deputies, they say that this search has now...
Whoops. Let's pause that. Let's get back over. So that's what I have for you on an update. I know it's not lengthy. I know there's not a lot to talk on, but I promise you that until Travis is caught, I will continue to do updates on this case and release everything I know. And that is all I know. Again, I am doing a call out, a 3-part call out. The 3 cases I'm working currently are the Travis Decker case. My first call to action is please put your energy towards positive thinking that Travis Decker will get caught so that we can get to the bottom of this. Did he have something to do with this? Was he responsible? Is there something that isn't being told to us that could, there's nothing that's going to explain the death of 3 children, face it. But we still would like to hear his side, right? I'm going to stay with it. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in court of law. We need to hear his side of the story. He needs to turn himself in, period. I am hopeful with this sighting, but I also have concerns that maybe it wasn't Travis, and that Travis, because it's such a short distance, 28 hours of walking in 11 days, and this is somebody military trained, 4-day head start, I'll be surprised. Forgive me. Okay, clear. You have a good point. Could he have tried to make his way back to where the girls were found, like a switch of reality? Could he possibly stay in the area to, I'll just put it this way. I am praying for the mother's safety, because what if he feels like mentally in his wicked mind that he left a loose end to tie up? That's a big concern for me. I want a lot of protection around Whitney, the mother. Okay. It's just so strange. Aw, thank you, Rach. She wants to thank everybody for spending time with us today. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification. Never miss a Mama D upload or live again. Thank you, Rach. He does know that area well. I just think he'd be further by now. I'm just shocked. It's shocking. So, you guys, I do have another live coming out today, a little bit later from now, around 3 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock in the UK. I know a little late, but it's when it's coming out. Maybe watch replay if you miss it. It's a Jay Slater video, and or live, I should say. And we're about to talk about the real truth in the Jay Slater case. Enough is enough. Let's just get down to the bare nuts and bolts and get the truth out there, because it's the big elephant in the room and we need to just say it. So that's going to be a huge video for me to release what I have to say. I'm sick of being threatened. Yeah, it's all going to I'm just going to lay it on the line. Just put it on the table before the inquest. I'm also just saying now, what I'm about to share with you, I think you'll see it from a bigger perspective when we're done. I love you all very much. I hope you'll join us for that. I'm going to go grab a bite to eat, enjoy my lunch, and hopefully settle my stomach before I come on. And yeah, release what I feel is the big picture in the Jay Slater case. So with that being said, I love you to the moon and back, and I can't wait to see you again. Love you. Bye for now.